5'3". But boy, that body stocked with energy. Ain't nothing artificial but she's from the big country. You know them gas bungie juicy. Oh, Teresa looking good. Hey, she's got them boys behaving rude. Aye, just to see she whine. Hey, her body looks so fine. Teresa, by him and Mona Lisa, you're the king of dang Teresa. By him and Mona Lisa, you're the king of dang Teresa. By him and Mona Lisa, you're the king of dang Teresa. By him and Mona Lisa, they coming by boat, they coming by plane, they coming in wheelchair and walking with cane. They coming by boat, they coming by plane, they coming in wheelchair and walking with cane. She fetching, Exuma she fetching, Cat Island she fetching, Andros she fetching, Bandahama she fetching, Abaco she fetching, Inagua she fetching, Long Island she fetching. Woo! Hey! Aha! Woo! Get in line, Henry B. You got in line too. Woo! They coming by boat, they coming by plane, they coming in wheelchair and walking with cane. They coming by boat, they coming by plane, they coming in wheelchair and walking with cane. They coming by boat, they coming by plane, they coming in wheelchair and walking with cane. They coming by boat, they coming by plane, they coming in wheelchair and walking with cane.
Now Mike was success at the best, counting money in one of them big hotel out west. Things get bad for Mike lose his job. Now he girlfriend acting like a snob. Don't love you no more since your money gone. Later for you, Mike, I'm moving on. Later for you, Mike, 'cause I'm looking up and I'm moving on. Every night they was out on the town, whining and dining, throw the money around. And now he ain't got enough for the show, and his girlfriend say he gotta go. Don't love you no more since your money gone. Later for you, Mike, I'm moving on. Later for you, Mike, 'cause I'm looking up and I'm moving on. Now she got all the best clothes around, with credit account and all them big store downtown, and jewelry like the queen never had. So she gon' throw my clothes in the yard. Don't love you no more since your money gone. Later for you, Mike, I'm moving on. Later for you, Mike, 'cause I look Later for you, my time moving on. Later for you, my, 'cause I looking up and I'm moving on. And it's so long, it's been good to know you. So long, it's been good to know you. So long, it's been good to know you. 'Cause I looking up and I'm moving on. I looking up and I'm moving on. I looking up and I'm moving on. I looking up and I'm moving on.
When the native women start to row, hear them calling these bad names now. You didn't you get for nothing with your picky head? You gotta sleep on the floor, you ain't got no bed. I knew them long time, them people is mine. The women are fine as long as you stay in line. This is when they start to fight all day long and into the night, licking one another with pan and pot, and they bought one another with rock. I say, I know them long time, them people is mine. The women, they're fine as long as you stay in line. After all the fighting and cussing, policemen come to break up the fussing. One blow with a conch shell in his head, they most to the policeman dead. I say, I know them long time, them people is mine. The women, they're fine as long as you stay in line. I know them long time, them people is mine. The women, they're fine as long as you stay in line. After all the fighting and quarreling, don't you ever try to give in. Do like I do, just shake your head. If you fought them, you could get dead. I say, I know them long time, them people is mine. The women, they're fine as long as you stay in line. The native women start to round, hear them calling these bad names now. You didn't you get for nothing with your picky head? You gotta sleep on the floor 'cause you ain't got no bed. I know them long time, them people is mine. The women, they're fine as long as you stay in line.
Boy, you don't know me, eh? You don't know who I is. Fool around and run your mouth. Check yourself, don't misbehave. Watch that! Come on! Sting! Oh, you ain't know what I say. Come on! Back again! Yes! Wife and husband start to row, as many does do. Husband say, woman, where my food? Wife say, who you talking to? Husband start to raise his hand, but the wife ain't move. Husband say, get out of my way. Wife say, hey, you don't know me, eh? Boy, you don't know me, eh? You don't know who I is. Fool around and run your mouth. Check yourself, don't misbehave. Boy, you don't know me, eh? You don't know who I is. Fool around, we keep your wing. Boy, you messing with the sting. Man went down to BEC as mad as hell. Yeah, they cut off his light, cause he ain't paid the bill. He said, my brother got big posts. Yeah, we bad out there. You must see one lose his job. Oh, you don't know me, eh? Boy, you don't know me, eh? You don't know who I is. Fool around and run your mouth. Check yourself, don't misbehave. Oh, you don't know me, eh? You don't know who I is. Fool around, we clip your wing. Boy, you're messing with this thing. Come on. Yes, man. Come on. Get it. Get it. Oh, yeah. Women walk into a store, you know they like to shop. They spot one designer gown, they start to pull and yuck. Girl, so you better let go, better walk away. Don't make me go crazy up in here. Girl, you don't know me, eh? Oh, you don't know me, eh? You don't know who I is. Fool around and run your mouth. Check yourself, don't misbehave. Oh, you don't know me, eh? You don't know who I is. Fool around, we clip your wing. Boy, you're messing with this thing. Look here, don't be mad at us, you know. Anybody? You ain't know who he is, eh? You best to know. Head man, let's go, man. Listen, the boys them at the bar, they say it the most. But when they white come around, you swear they see ghosts. As soon as she drive away, the first thing they say, see, I just run my house, my boy. Oh, you don't know me, eh? Boy, you don't know me, eh? You don't know who I is. Fool around and run your mouth. Check yourself, don't misbehave. Oh, you don't know me, eh? You don't know who I is. Fool around, we clip your wing. Boy, you're messing with this thing. Boy, you don't know me, eh? You don't know who I is. Fool around and run your mouth. Check yourself, don't misbehave. Oh, you don't know me, eh? You don't know who I is. Fool around, we clip your wing. Boy, you rush and get this thing. Come on! Oh, let's go! That's it, that's it! Come on! Yes, man! Go, go! Come on, let's go! Watch this! Boy, you don't know me, eh? You don't know who I is. Fool around and run your mouth. Check yourself, don't misbehave. Oh, you don't know me, eh? You don't know who I is. Fool around, we clip your wing. Boy, this a behaving thing. Boy, you don't know me, eh? You don't know who I is. Fool around and run your mouth. Check yourself, don't misbehave. Boy, you don't know me, eh? You don't know who I is. Fool around, we clip your wing. Boy, you're messing with this thing. Oh, you don't know me, eh? You don't know who I is. Fool around and run your mouth. Check yourself, don't misbehave. Oh, you don't know me, eh? You don't know who I is. Fool around, we clip your wing. Boy, you rush and gets the sting. Boy, you don't know me, eh? You don't know who I is. Fool around and run your mouth. Check yourself, don't misbehave. Come on! Oh, you don't know me, eh? You don't know who I is. Fool around, we clip your wing. Boy, you're messing with this thing. Oh! Boy, you don't know me, eh? You don't know who I is. Fool around and run your mouth. Check yourself, don't misbehave. No! Boy, you don't know me, eh? You don't know who I is. Fool around, we clip your wing. Boy, you rush and gets this thing.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Who didn't eat up all the food, didn't drink down all the rum sweet. We can scrape it dance all night long to the sounds of the ancient man. Now you done blow your candle, you done look on all your gift. We done sing a happy birthday and you done make a birthday wish. While my mind asking a question, Lord, I wonder who it will be. You give your first piece of birthday cake too. Oh Lord, my God, I pray that it's me. Oh, did I need all the food and did I drink down the rum sweet. We can scream me dance all night long to the sounds of the ancient man. Now you done blow your candle, you done look on all your gift. We done sing a happy birthday and you done make your birthday wish. You know I was like your buddy, closer greater than your best friend. I've been with you through the hurricane. Damn it, I'll be here when your party ends.
Oh, they done need all the food, and they done bring down the rum sweet. We can scrape it dance all night long to the sounds of the ancient man. Now you done blow your candle, you done open all your gifts. We done sing a happy birthday, and you done made your birthday wish. Each day I told you by home from school, climb the highest tree just to pick mine go for you. Gave you my jacket when you said you was cool. Even took the blame for you one time I got schooled. Oh, they done eat all the food, and they done drink down the rum sweet. Because we dance all night long to the sounds of the ancient man. Now you done blowed your candle, you done open all your gift. We done sing a happy birthday, and you done made your birthday wish. You know you promised to love me eternally till the end of time. You said that I would always be your darling, and I said that you would always be mine. Oh, they done eat all the food, and they done drink down the rum sweet. We can scrape it dance all night long to the sounds of the ancient man. Now you done blowed your candle, you done open all your gifts. We done sing a happy birthday, and you done made your birthday wish. I would take my life this minute, Lord, if you should leave and not stay in it. I'll pop my neck from a daily tree, gal, if you should take your love from me. They done eat all the food, and they done drink on the rum sweet. We can scrape it dance all night long to the sounds of the ancient man. Now you done blowed your candle, you done open all your gifts. We done sing a happy birthday, and you done made your birthday wish. Oh,
I have a dream where the powerful and the powerless will sit at the same table, where the haves will see the have-nots, not as burdens, but as brothers, where class will not divide us, but conviction will unite us. I have a dream that the oligarchs will remember we must all eat, that the brown-faced neo-colonialists will remember who they are and whose they are. I have a dream that fraternities will build beyond internal architecture into a national bond, that the walls of design will give way to the bridges of brotherhood, not a fraternity of symbol, but a brotherhood of substance. I have a dream that we remain focused, that we stay in our conviction and remain fearless, that we double down, fortified, to return this Bahama land to the foundation.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The Foundation, live and in full effect. It is a beautiful, absolutely gorgeous Wednesday afternoon out here in the land of the living, wherever you are, September 10th. Happy birthday to Stephen Presenti. Stephen Presenti, my brother-in-law. He is celebrating his birthday. I can't remember how old he is. I'm sure it's between 36, maybe 35, 36. I can't remember exactly how old he is. Happy birthday to you. I hope that you're doing well, my brother. I see you in a little while. I got to come down to Grand Bahama and make sure that you're good, and hail everyone. Guys, also, I wanted to be able to tell you, yesterday we've been talking about this. There's sort of an idea of being able to go down there and do some, give some blood for William Bill Poitier. He is my wife's uncle, but he's my uncle. I adopt him also. My wife's uncle, and I'd like you to be able to go down there and check him out and see exactly what he is in the male surgical ward and looking for opportunities, looking for a little blood. So if you're going to be able to donate some blood, do that for him. and make sure that you take care of him in that particular space. All right, so that's William Bill Poitier. William Bill Poitier, right, Uncle Bill. So make sure you go down there and check him out for me, please. Give some blood and just let him know all those persons that you're going to be able to sign up with. Let them know that this is for William Bill Poitier. All right. Got to be able to shout out my good, decent friend, Ephraim Jones. Ephraim Jones. Ladies and gentlemen, down there by Garden of Eden, if you have not had an opportunity to had a meeting down there the other day, that's where I have my meetings. Had a meeting down to Garden of Eden the other day. Now, this is in, when you go towards Elizabeth Estates, you're going to be able to take that northern road, right? Eastwood, right? So you're going to Elizabeth Estates, you're going to take that northern road eastwood. You're going to turn on Tulip right there on the top of the hill. It's a timeless space where you can be able to enjoy a great deal of food. Today he says to me, Howard, I have okra soup. He has okra soup. I normally try to be able to give one of those away for persons who call into the show and whatnot. He says, Howard, if you want some okra soup, or if some persons want some okra soup, just let them know they can be able to get the okra soup with us today. So go down there and check him out. He could take good care of you. That's Ephraim Jones, Mr. Jones. And you just order. If you want to, you can be able to order your soup in advance. Let me give you Ephraim's number. I give you Ephraim's number right now, eh? You go down there, tell Ephraim Howard sent you from the foundation, and he'll take good care of you and make sure that you're comfortable in that kind of a space. Shouts out to Bishop Pancho, who's hit me up just now, and Bishop Emmanuel hits me up. They tell me they've been watching. All those persons who've been watching, I want to thank you so very kindly for tuning in with us. This is what it is, man. Yeah, you could see me, you could hear me, and you could blame me later, amen? So we're here in this kind of a space, and we're doing what we have to do, right? Let me see if we can get Ephraim for you. Ephraim Jones, 819-5574, 819-5574. You can hit Ephraim Jones. If he cuss you for that number, I'm not sure. I just give you the number. The first number is Ephraim. Call him on that, eh? Ephraim Jones, he can be able to do that. 819-5574. And he can take good care of you in that space. Guys, it's a beautiful day. Grateful to be in your company. It's a gorgeous day. Had an opportunity to be able to clean all my white shoes. My God, yeah, because we feel good. Yeah. We feel good, so we can be able to do some things. And I hope you're out there being able to recognize that this is the month of birthing. I just get preachy. I got to calm down too quick. I just get preachy. I need to calm down. Yeah, this is the 9th month. This is the month of birthing. This is the month where things are going to happen. Once you put your hands to these things, this is the month that it has to be able to yield. My God. Yeah, we're in this month. Baby. Today is Suicide Prevention Month. And we're going to be able to have Dr. Stubbs call into the show, I think, at 1 o'clock to have a conversation with us, to talk to us about suicide awareness, and being able to understand those things. So I'm grateful for that. And guys, if you are there and you want to be able to do like a public service announcement, or you want to come here, hey, man, listen, things are changing in this country. I got to tell you this. Things are changing in this country. I know persons in this sort of an idea and their minds are wrapped around how traditional things have always happened. And you constantly have a conversation about going to the traditional spaces, which is cool. Ain't nobody fighting you for that. But you're going to have to diversify your portfolio, baby. You're going to have to look at more than just what used to work. You're going to have to understand the demographics. And I have understood the demographics in a big way. Let me tell you why. So TikTok tell us they have to review some stuff before we put some stuff on. My producer's actually going to be checking it out. So TikTok say we're going to have to review some stuff. But I've been putting the little clips, we take the little clips, the little small clips, and we push it through various social media outlets. So you get Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. That's the 3 that I've been using. Other persons use other things, right? But these are the 3 elements that I've been using. I believe that our demographic is kind of tethered to. This is what they use here in the country. So I get good reviews and traditional reviews from Facebook. Right. So, all my old schoolmates and all the old friends and all the older persons from different age bracket and whatnot, they hit you up. Bang, bang, bang. And congratulations. But I put a couple clips on TikTok and I watch my followership grow. Talk to me. This is heavy stuff. So if you're leaving yourself out of this demographic, if you don't want to be able to find yourself in this kind of a position where you're being able to utilize social media, in this instance, to be able to bring your product to the forefront, to bring your product to the market, then you may be missing out a couple bucks. Yeah, you're missing out on that transitional market where younger persons did not necessarily know about your product. Now they're hearing about you, or they're hearing about your product, and now they're moving towards you. Come and do some work with us, man. Do some business with us. Nothing too heavy. Yeah, nothing too heavy. We're going to be able to be as the sort of the inaugural and the founder's price that we give you. Yeah, it's going to be light. It ain't going to be nothing to talk about. This will be the founder's price that we give you. So you could come in and we're going to do something very special with you and talk about where we are in the country and be able to put your stuff there and tether to it, right? My producer and I talked about an L-bar. Now, what an L-bar is right alongside here and then right alongside the front here, right? So it'll be side and then front like that. You see it, right? You see it before. And then we can do advertisement for you in that kind of a space also. So let me know what you want. Let me know how you want to be able to do this. We're going to be here every day, God spare our lives. I just want to shoot straight with you. This is where we're going to be. Until we transition into our kind of an own space and we jamming and doing our own thing, this is where we're going to be. Okay? And I want you guys to be able to know that. I hear a lot of persons kind of hit me up and talk to me about prospects in other areas, but this is where we're going to be. This is where independence reigns. Yeah, I don't think Mark Zuckerberg care about the FNM and the PLP. Amen. I do not care. I don't think that YouTube, I don't know who the people is for YouTube. I don't think that they're concerned about the FNM and the PLP. They're only concerned about their community guidelines. And once I don't infringe those particular things or break them, you can meet me here. All right. So let's be here and let's continue to be able to talk like this. And if you want to be able to be a part of our show, you want to get interviewed, you want to talk about these things, you got a concept, you got an idea, you got a little, you want to be able to bring something, a product or whatever, please hit me up. Let me know. 827-0111, 827-0111. You can be able to see the numbers right down there. 827-0111. You can see that stuff as we continue to be able to go out. And the numbers you can dial today, if you want to be a part of the conversation, I'd love you to do so. 827-0111, right? So that doesn't change. And you could also be able to hit me up for a text in the same manner, right? 827-0111. That's been the Help Me Howard line for a long time. And we've been pushing to ensure that we can be able to keep that and retain that. We just got to be able to change the phone. Just got some confirmations, guys. The Realign is going to be out with us on the 21st. And I know that you may not necessarily, maybe you're kind of intrigued. What is it about? But I'm extremely excited, man. My team and I have been working our behinds all the way off, trying to be able to fix this thing. Right? Forgive me. Let me get this. I feel too formal for you. Yeah, let me change this. Yeah. Okay, now praise God. We got it together. All right. So my team, man, we've been busting our behinds. We've been talking. We've been putting these. I know they think that, well, Jesus, how would it sweat people? Yeah, you think it's all it's like a bed of roses, right? And this bubbly personality requires you to be professional. That's just what it is. That's all it is. Listen. I just do this, and I just do this professionally. And so I'm hoping that you are not only interested, and we can be able to retain you as a customer as we continue to be able to go forward. We talked about this. We're going to come. The editions are going to be September edition. So that'll be month 1, first edition, September. God spare our lives. It'll come out week after next, right? Second edition is going to be... it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month and some other things that we're going to be focusing on. So it's going to be October, right? November. It should be 1 issue. And we're looking in the event that we have advertisers, those persons who want to be able to put their stuff to the forefront. You want to show toys and gifts and this and that, and your tree selections and how persons could be able to purchase stuff. And you want to do that for Christmas time. I want you to call me, man. Let me know. All right. Howard@therealigner.com. Howard@therealigner.com. You can be able to get me on that. But you can also hit me up 827-0111. Text me. If I called you right away, like I tell you, only because this phone is in a position that it's in. And sometimes I just leave it off on silent and forget it because that's not it's sort of a public phone, right? And I'm going to have to be able to give this to my secretary so she can be able to do this for you, right? But nonetheless, you hit the phone, you leave a message there, you leave all the stuff there. Let me know what you're thinking. If you want to be able to advertise with us in December, if you want to be able to, Howard, how do I get listen, all y'all in R and Bailey Park and all these things that talk to me, I just want to shoot straight with you. You know the time coming. I don't know what y'all is be doing. I ain't going to fight you. I'm not going to fight you. I don't know what you just be doing. But I'm going to tell you that the time is coming where you need to do advertisement. You know you just be on R and Bailey Park. You know you just be on Carmichael Road. You know you just be in these particular spaces. Come, hit me up with the community pages. You go and sell one car. Come and let's do something in the classifieds in those particular areas. If you want to do that, if you have concepts, watch me. I want to do this. I haven't done this formally yet, but I want to do this. If you have a concept for a comic, if your children is draw and they got a concept for a Bahamian comic and they want to be able to put like an episode in the paper, hit me up, baby. This is an authentic Bahamian paper. If you want to use organic, go ahead. I'm not going to fight you. This is the authenticity of who we are as a people. All right? I want to put every element in this. I've been reaching out to persons in the Family Islands. I want you to be social media journalists. I want you to be journalists in these particular freelance journalists, right? So I'm not going to put you on a salary all week, but when you get these stories, we tell you what the pay structure would be, and we pay you according to these particular stories. And so you can put those together. I want to have a section in the paper for Exuma. I can have the section in the paper for Eleuthera. I can have a section in the paper for Grand Bahama, Abaco, Bimini, Long Island, and Andros. Okay? So all the major populated islands, we're going to be able to do that, right? And if you're from Acklands and you want to do something with me, call me. If you're from Iguana and you want to do something with me, call me. If you're from Inagua and you want to do something and talk about those particular things that you got going on down there, call me. The numbers have not changed. 827-0111. This paper is going to be exciting, man. This is our paper. If you know the history of how a lot of these papers have started, these have started even when we were in a colonial past. This ain't a knock on the paper. This ain't a knock on the paper, okay? The papers have started when we were part of a colonial yesteryear. The established papers in this country. Outside of Bahama Journal, okay? Don't fight me. Outside of Bahama Journal, but the two major papers, the two major dailies in the country were established outside of the realm of the independence that we continue to champion in this country. So essentially, these papers don't even belong to us. They've changed hand and hand again. But the truth is, a great deal of those persons who are at the top in those particular spaces don't necessarily bleed the blood of culture, the blood of tradition, the blood of community that we bleed in this space. I want the Realigner to be different. Yeah, I want the Realigner to tell you about you and remind you about your mom. Yeah, not in a bad way. I want the Realigner to be able to tell you about the passion that we had in yesteryear and the distance that we have traveled away from the convictions that we've been called to in this country. That's what the Realigner is about. Yeah. We've aligned ourselves with Mammon. Oh, God, I guess you get preachy quickly. No man can serve two God. You either serve God or Mammon. Mammon is the acquisition of stuff. It's money. And we as a people, subconsciously, over the years, have served mammon. We only about that money. Can I get an amen? There's more than money in this life. There's more than money. Yeah. I watched an interview with Michael B. Jordan. I can say this. I watched it's a quick little interview with Michael B. Jordan and how people go on their podcasts and kind of break down what people are saying. And so I think he was in a red carpet somewhere. I think it was for Sinners or something like that. And the young lady asked him something about his success and how he's become so successful and what can he attribute that to and so forth and so on. These are questions that they ask. And he said, I'm a babalawu. I'm a babalabu. So what the hell is that? I don't know. It's a babalawu, right? He said, I'm a babalawu. And my mother, right? So I'm a babalawu. What the hell is a babalawu? It's a religion. It's a faith that they've yielded themselves over to for the acquisition of stuff. It's a variation of mammon for the pursuit of stuff in this life. It's mad crazy to me. It's mad crazy to me. That you serve a God solely for the pursuit of stuff. That none of your things, none of your convictions, none of your ideas, none of your sexual philanthropy, none of your desire to be able to go and just, throw yourself on every woman or every man or whatever your desires are. None of your cussing, none of your teething, none of your drinking, none of your smoking, none of your crack taking, none of these things have to change when you commit yourself to these particular gods. Nothing. You don't have to fix nothing. Nothing is getting fixed in your life. There is a dark cloud that exists over you, but you're getting stuff. That's what you want. I'm confused about this. Because all of us want stuff. Yeah, we want things. But what are you willing to give for these things? What are you willing to do for these things? And what value you've placed on yourself and the acknowledgement that there is a self after this life for you to be able to pursue these things relentlessly. This is bananas to me. The Realigner, the newspaper that's going to be coming out, is seeking to deal with this. Okay? Our first issue, we're going to be talking about education. There's a story in there about education. Great story. I enjoyed that. My writer has really hit it out the park. I enjoyed that. Right? We're also going to be talking about Dorian 6 years after and whether or not there has been any transformation, any reform in this particular space as it relates to governmental mindset for preparation and being able to move forward. So we're going to talk about that. Okay? Two things. We're going to be talking about accountability and transparency through the lens of victimization. These good stories. Y'all think I can talk about the FNM? I don't have time for this. Jesus, no, I don't have time for this. The FNM can do what they have to do, and I have to do what I have to do. And I feel like in the spirit of Rodney Munker, I'm too old to be liking man. I'm sitting down here worrying about these people, and, he do me wrong. I don't care about these people. This is who these men is. Listen, I do not care. You hear me? I do not care. These men have yielded a great deal of them, if not all, a great deal of them have given themselves over to the idea that whatever is required by this party, I can do it. I can do it. Whatever they need me to do, I can do that. But y'all got to be able to your flipping mind. I ain't got time for that. I just want to be decent with you. I don't have no time for that. Listen to me, man. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. And a great deal of these men that sit in these particular spaces at the helm and at the gate of these organizations are old dogs. And they've never tethered themselves to conviction. Not to conviction for nation, not to conviction for family, not to conviction for anything else other than organization. And beyond the organization, they don't even have conviction for the constitution of the organization. They ain't even concerned about the constitution of the organization. Their concern is for the idea of the current traditions, which are fluid. They continue to be able to change and chip away and move in those particular, but they tether themselves to the tradition. And that tradition has been introduced to us with a banner. And that banner says, all for me, baby. And then the sub banner is friends, families, and lovers. That's what you went into. If you went into family, if you went into purpose, if you went into conviction, if you went into faith, if you went into a direction to be able to take us beyond this, then I don't really have time to be rowing with you. So I tell you, I apologize to people who I row with. Because y'all ain't got no God. I tell you, I can feel Rodney Monker in the studio today. Not to get like a O'Berry, right? I don't want to be like an O'Berryan, right? But you ain't saved. You ain't saved. I got time to be sitting down here rowing with you and you don't even know Jesus Christ. You don't have no faith for yourself. I got time to be rowing with you and you don't have faith for yourself. You don't have faith for family. You don't even want a dog because you don't want no responsibility. But you think I must row with you? No, man, I don't. Do what you have to do. Do what you have to do, baby. And I will do what I have to do. And what I have to do, I'm praying that it is sanctified and acknowledged by the Father. I continue to be able to put these things before Him and ask Him to guide, to protect me, to stand in my body, to think with my mind, to speak with my tongue, to let His divine will be done. Let His kingdom come. Y'all don't want to hear this. Y'all don't want to talk like this, but it's just too bad. That's fine. You don't necessarily have to be in depth of those conversations, but there has to be some substance beyond this sort of an idea or the pursuit of acquisition, the pursuit of things. It got to be something beyond this. It got to be something beyond these things. That might not be your faith. Your faith may be in Osun. Your faith may be in the Babalu. Your faith may be in voodoo. Your faith may be in everything else that takes you away from the God who is the King of the kings and the Lord of the lords. Okay. You do you. We're going to be over here doing us. We're seeking to realign this nation with our words. We're seeking to be able to jumpstart this nation with faith and determination, with our commitment, with our hands, so we don't just believe, we're working towards the transformation, and we're looking for partnership. Yeah, you may be comfortable giving Chris Brown $1,200 to go take a picture, but you're indifferent with giving any money to community saving efforts, any money to reformation within your own space, any money to your church. Yeah. Our priorities are warped. I'm not here to preach to you and tell you what you should do. That ain't my thing. That ain't my thing. I'm not here to tell you you don't know. That's not my style. I ain't gonna do that. I'm just gonna tell you this is what I'm doing, and this is how I'm living in this kind of a space. So let's talk about it. So we're going to be waiting on another 15 minutes to see if we can be able to get Dr. Stubbs in. Dr. Stubbs should be calling us from wherever he is and talking to us about the suicide prevention and how we could be able to do this. This is a wild thing. 15, 20, 30, 40 years ago, this was never a conversation in this country. Never a conversation in this country. This is a wild thing. And in the midst of these things, in the midst of how these things happen, with this transformation right now, I think is an essential conversation. I think it's a crucial conversation. And I don't know whether or not there are any faith elements in this conversation. I don't know whether or not there's any spirituality. But I'm seeking to be able to have that. Dr. Jason Stubbs, who is a consulting clinical psychologist for the Bahamas Psychological Association and the executive team member, is going to be with us at 1 o'clock. So let me stretch out some things, fix some things up, guys. Like I said, if you want to hit me up with a text or something like that, please do so. 827-0111, 827-0111. Let me take this quick commercial break, guys. I'm going to be right back after this.
Bring it. Back up. Ladies, get yourself one. Get a backup generator. Something on the side. Fit right in your pocket. Something you can hide. When your man them joking, tell them see you later. That's when you pull out your backup generator. We all need one. You know, BC's back up sometime. All my girlfriends out there telling me what you think. Should you let a man drive you to drink? He stay out all night, come home all worn out, smelling just like perfume and lipstick on him out. Roll with the punches, make him think you sleep. When he start the snoring, that's the time you creep. He could be a short man, ain't gonna be too loud. Make sure when he show up, the battery then charge. Get a backup generator, something on the side. Fit right in your pocket, something you can hide. When your man them joking, tell them see you later. That's when you pull out your backup generator. One day you got current, the next day you don't. Tired of the foolishness, man, I need something will go away from me all the time. Get it? I know some people out there think I should hold my tongue, but why should you just sit back and let them treat you wrong? You ask him for a chocolate, and every time it melts, get your own chocolate and feed it to yourself. 6 pence for the good news, 6 pence for the bad. When you had this good thing, didn't know just what you had. Don't let them have you waiting, cause you ain't no waiter. Y'all don't even stress out. Get a generator, get a backup generator. Something on the side, put right in your pocket. Something you can hide. When your man them joking, tell them see you later. That's when you pull out your backup generator. Flip the switch, girls. Feel the fire in your wire. Let it take you higher. This is my favorite part right here. Don't worry about this shot, cause that's the best part. He'll always make you rich every time he starts. Just keep him on standby, ready to kick in. Cause when your man see you smiling, he'll wonder where you've been. Get a backup generator, something on the side. Fit right in your pocket, something you can hide. When the man them joking, tell them see you later. That's when you pull out your backup generator. Boy, this music sweet. Makes me wanna vibrate and shake. Sweetness, weakness. Come down, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. Bring it, bring it, bring it, bring it. Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. Right on it, huh? Get a backup generator, something that won't quit. Just keep the motor running with lots of spark in it. When them man them joking, tell them see you later. That's when you pull out your backup generator. Get a backup generator, something on the side. Fit right in your pocket, something you can hide. When them man them joking, tell them see you later. That's when you pull out your backup generator. Get a backup generator, something that won't quit. Keep the motor running, lots of spark in it. When them and them joking, tell them catch you later. That's when you pull out your back generator. Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. Right on it, right on it. Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. Bring it, bring it, bring it, bring it. Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up.
Call the cops. Never, 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 never. Let me this, let me that. Can you do me one little favor? Oh Lord, I'm talking to all these nosy them out here now. There's a thing about Geneva. I know some of y'all got one. Always sneaking right here in the thing. Peep too. I throw some salt in the eye. Listen to this. I got a neighbor. His name is Bertram Brown. He's the most waterous neighbor in this little town. I know to love your neighbor is the right thing to do, but the good book never been what I've been through. You shouldn't hate your neighbor, that's true. But you would hate him too if he lived by you. Oh Lord, this neighbor, never, 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 never. Let me this.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, here live. We are live, L-I-V-E, live, live, love, whatever you want to call it, it's up to you. But we're here live, jamming with you on the foundation. Grateful to be in your company. Let's look at the headlines today. Like I said, at 1 o'clock, there is an expectation for a telephone call to be able to come in from Dr. Jason Stubbs to talk to us about what's going on in the country, what's going on more specifically, and being able to identify suicide prevention. I think we've had one too many of that during the past 5 years. Yeah, this has been a lot. And it's hard, man. It's hard because that was a heavy condemnation. I think they kind of seared that into our brains as kids, a great deal of us. Those of us who went to church and as a part of this particular faith, we understood that execution by your own hand or exiting by your own hand is eternal demise. We understood that. They told us this. And there's a fear that we don't need to find out. And so, for me, this is a lot, man. We're going to talk about it and find out about these particular things. There's one story more particularly that stood out to me that I want to be able to talk about. I know a lot of persons talk about it. The disgraced Long Island woman transported to emergency flight on back of a truck in the rain. And I suppose that this is sort of a clarion call and the revival of the necessity for an ambulance in this particular space. And also, we would have heard the member of Parliament, the current member of Parliament, Adrian Gibson, speak to that. If you listen to a couple of news outlets about, how he would have called and he would have stood up and made a particular protest to ensure that we can have these particular things in Long Island. And that didn't happen, right? Basically what he's saying. And so this isn't the first time that we've seen this. This isn't the first time, whether here or in Nassau, or there are many a man who has gone off and jumped on the back of a truck, and they put him on there to get him to the hospital. Yeah, the travesty is lack of preparation. But in the midst of this, the proactivity is life preservation. So, it's a yin and a yang for me. It's, two sides of this thing. We want to look at it in the prospect, at the position that we should have been prepared formally to be able to deal with these things. I agree. We should have been prepared formally to deal with these things. But we wasn't. So what you going to do, let the woman stay right there? Huh? You can let her stay there? No, man. We have to be able to help her out the best that we can. And this is a community effort to ensure that the preservation of life is at the forefront of our brains. Now, this instance and being able to capture the way that they have has placed us in the position where we can now have a conversation and saying our politicians are poor in their capacity and not being able to do these things. I think more could have been done. This is just me. I think more could have been done. This is just me. Whether it's a fire truck, whether it is an ambulance, whatever those particular things are that we need in terms of being able to utilize and help the community, I think more could have been done. I think just being able to jump up and say, well, I asked the government for it, is not enough. And I think when it boils down to it, whether we're in Exuma, who've had significant fires the other day, Abaco, right? I think North Abaco had some fires. Whether you're in East End Grand Bahama, whether you're in West Grand Bahama, wherever the fires persist in those particular areas, and you're unable to be able to deal with this because of a lack of a fire truck, and you're waiting on central government to do this, and you don't have no proactivity, and people spending billions and billions of dollars just getting the Walmart on an annual basis, and you can't be able to create a petition to talk about the necessity for these things. You can't find a partner in the community to go buy you a used truck. You can't get certification in these areas for persons to be able to buy. You can't do nothing yourself. Nothing as a community. That's sheer lousiness. You could say what you want to say. Okay? The people from Long Island sit down there. I'm not Long Island. The people from Harbor Island sit down there. Diaghilev, when he was the Minister of Tourism, has indicated that this big boat was going to be coming around again and Spanish Wells. The people of Spanish Wells said, where? Boat getting where? They had a meeting that day. Bang! That day they had a meeting. Before the meeting over, Diaghilev said, okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, because you're waiting on people to make decisions for you that doesn't necessarily bode well in the community that you live in. You're out here waiting for people to decide for you. You could do better than this. Listen to me, man. You think I was going to sit down and wait for somebody to be able to call me and say, Howard, how you doing, man? You sure and eat? Oh, God, I know it's been about 9 months. You sure and eat 9 months? Oh, Jesus. Listen, man. I think I got something for you. I can call you back. And then wait another 9 months for them to call me back. You think I got time to be waiting on people? No, boy. You better get up and get it yourself. You better figure out how to get up and go and pursue it yourself. You ain't got time to be sitting down there waiting and hoping and praying that somebody come true for me. No, boy, I had my share of that. I tell you before, I know a lot of people don't like to hear me talk, but when I lost my job at the Grand Lucayan Hotel, I didn't do nothing. Honest to God, I didn't do nothing. It was incompetence on management's part. I had a manager out there. He looked like he was more interested in, what Grammy say, chasing gown tail. Praise God. I just want to be. Can I be decent? Don't allow the indecency to spry down upon me. Let me be decent. And I will do my best. His incompetence needed a scapegoat, which caused an entire department, me and 2 other people, get fired because he could not perform and provide in his capacity as director. And he scapegoated all of us, and guess what? He still get fired. This is an amazing thing. It's happened. But I was in the midst of that. First time it ever happened to me. Oh, God, I cried for 3 months straight. Like a sissy. I cried. Oh, Lord. I sit down. Lord, what happened? Jesus. Nothing happened. I cried so much I thought Jesus would have. Howard. With the whole glow thing behind it. Howard. You rang? You were calling me, and I thought I would show up. It's kind of busy. But I'm here. I was looking for that. Never happened. That never happened. Pride had a hold of me. It held me like this. You see all the things you do? You used to wear a suit. You can't do these things now. I said, listen, I got to take care of my family. I start cutting grass. You think I'm worrying with these people? I got to take care of my family. I can't be labeled a lousy man because of circumstances that's beyond my control. Either I believe in God or I don't believe in God. That's just what it is. Either you believe in yourselves and believe in the faith and the strength of community and being able to lock arms in a position and get something done, or you sit down there with no ambulance, no fire truck, and incompetence in the position of local leadership, and you blame everybody else except you. Well, what you want us to do, Howard? Something. Figure it out. Something. You could go fund me. Howard, I want you all to vote for my baby. She won't be Miss Bahamas something. You figure that out. You didn't have pride for that. You got to figure these things out, man. And I think management and leadership and local leadership and MPs are not necessarily the ones that come with the vision, but they are responsible for being able to help us execute to get to the end stage. I have a partner that I bring the concepts, and he's been my partner, same partner that I told you about yesterday. I'm at the Hard Rock Cafe. Called me, same partner, right? He's a business partner, right? One day I can bring him on the show to talk to you about how we met and so forth and so on, right? If he would sit there, because he's kind of a, he don't at the forefront, like the cameras and stuff, like he don't bother with that. But nonetheless, I have a partner that he is an absolute go-getter. I said, listen, we need boom, boom, boom. Right? So I come up with the concept, I draft it, I put it in proper structure, I do all these things, I give the breakdown, I say, this is how it's supposed to go, this is how it's supposed to look, and I give it to him. I say, here, this is it. And then he says, okay. And he go get it. Bang! Right off the top. He go get it. Bang! No two ways about it. That's all you need. You need to come up with the concept, the vision, the idea, the drive. You have to have the heart and structure it accordingly. And your MP should be your community partner to help you to expedite the concepts and ideas that you've envisioned. To help you to get these things certified, to help you to walk it through, to cut those red tapes for you, to give you expedience, to help you to get to where you're supposed to go to grow as a community. That's what the Member of Parliament should be doing. If you're waiting for your Member of Parliament to come here and be able to espouse this sort of a great grand idea for growth and development and how we can make money in this community, that will never happen. I can tell you why it didn't happen. Because if these people come from you and you can't think like that yet, how you think they can think like that? They ain't thinking like that. They ain't worried about you. They trying to hop over that $28,000 to see if they can get in the cabinet or somewhere close. Amen? I can't even get no amen. Guys, we're going to take a next commercial break. It is now 1 o'clock. And we're supposed to be able to have Dr. Stubbs on with us talking to us about suicide prevention. So I am going to give him a call and find out where we are, if we're going to be talking about that, because he said he's not here on Ireland. But however it is, we're going to be able to find ourselves and make some things happen. Let's take this quick commercial break, and we're going to be right back after this.
Yeah. Sweet sensation. Bust it. I left school. Greta called me dumb, 'cause I didn't know what was 1 and 1. I ran home as same as can be. Bring back some pets and show it to she. I show her my roachie, I show her my centipede, I show her my spider. She jump, she jump, she jump, she jump, she jump, she jump. When she see the froggy, woo! Yeah. Down, girl, you can show me that song. She said I might be scared, but boy, I ain't dumb. Why you don't try to get it right? You always hanging out with them boys on the blocks all night. I show my roachie, I show my centipede, I show my spider. Yeah. She jump, she jump, she jump, she jump, she jump, she jump. When she see the froggy. Yeah. Whoa. Ah. Check this out. I say, girl, what you talking about? See, I rule teens. See, I'm a guy with clout. Now show me them answers and don't even pout. You there look like Porgy with your big fish mouth. I show her my roachie, I show her my centipede, I show her my spider. She jump, she jump, she jump, she jump, she jump, she jump. When she see the froggy, she's scared of frog. Boy, you ain't no good now.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. You show your roachie, your centipede, and your spider. My God. We were singing that as little children and they didn't even know the implications thereof. KB, you need to stop it. In Jesus' name, you got us. But before that, we then was whining, right? We then was whining Mr. Walking Stick. Oh, Jesus, this is a lot of different. It was too much. There was too much. You didn't sexualize all of us all this time. And now you want to know why we like Sweetheart. That's another show. We can talk about these things, right? Guys, I want to thank you, man. And thank you for being able to tune in with us today. We're going to talk about suicide prevention and being able to get these things here. I want to introduce you to Dr. Jason Stubbs to be able to talk about this. I told you, put his picture up there, let persons know exactly who he is. He's here with us. Dr. Stubbs, how are you today?
Doing good. A little under the weather, but doing good.
I'm so grateful that you called me and you reached out to talk to us about this, man. I know a lot of times that we just go through sort of the cycle of what happens in the media, but not necessarily understanding what we need to amplify as it relates to what's really happening in our country. Talk to us about how you found yourself in this position and let persons know who you are and what you do.
Well, thank you, Howard, for having us on the show. The Bahama Psychological Association is trying to blow up all the media today. Today is World Suicide Prevention Day, and so we are trying to hit up all the media houses. So that's the main reason why I'm here with you today.
Absolutely.
And we are trying to make sure get the word out. That's why you saw the PSA we have. We sent that out to all the media houses today, and so. Just wanted to kind of keep people aware, and you know how it is in the Bahamas. When it happens, it's in the forefront. When it ain't happening, we forget about it.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate, unless it happened today and we say somebody was, we found somebody with their wrist slit or hanging from something or whatever the case may be, not to get graphic. This is something in the back of our minds. I don't know whether or not that's because it's cultural, or whether or not this is just because of our concern or lack thereof in our community. Talk to me about that.
I think it's all of the above, Howard. I think, and I was on another show, something from your past life.
Praise God.
The other day, they did a show, and one of the things we brought up was something that hit me. It's not just a mental health crisis we have; it's a health crisis. I don't know if you saw the story in Long Island that just recently happened where they had to transport the lady on the back of the truck.
Yeah, we were talking about that just a bit.
Okay, I missed that part. So we not only have a mental health crisis, we have a health crisis. And so because there's a health crisis, it makes sense that mental health is not getting the attention and being highlighted as it should be. Because if you want me to be honest with you, I think the government system has a crisis on its hand just with the health system. So there is a lack of planning.
Don't go now. Where you going? You drop? Let me look at this phone. Oh Lord, look like you drop. Let's get him back.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You dropped just now. I apologize about that. Go ahead.
Okay. I said because of the crisis that they have on their hand in regards to the health system, mental health will in turn be impacted. And so
now
I think we still have the fact.
I sit back when you start to talk about the fact that there is a healthcare crisis of sorts in the country, right? That's nothing that has been acknowledged or even uttered by no official in these particular capacities. The closest we would have gotten to that is the crisis of not getting paid. Right? Yeah, we hear the nurses being able to talk about what they're not getting and so forth and so on, or the social crisis that says the accommodations are poor when we go into the Princess Margaret Hospital. The accommodations are poor when we go into the Rand Memorial or the clinics around, but they haven't been able to articulate this and surmise all the information and say, we have a healthcare crisis. We haven't heard that.
Right. Well, Howard, can you hear me, Howard?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Does the emperor know he's naked?
No, he doesn't. No.
Okay.
No.
Just making sure. And even if he did, we have to present an appearance, because saying there's a crisis could cause chaos. So you have to present that there isn't, but we have to be realistic and look at the let's go back and describe really, Howard, what crisis. I think that's another thing Bahamians are afraid to sit down and come up with. What's the definition of what a crisis is? You know, do you mind me going there for a minute?
Yeah, that's what we're here for. Let's talk about
Okay.
it. Let's talk about
All right. A crisis basically is, the definition of a crisis is intense difficulty, trouble, or danger. Let me say that again. Intense difficulty, trouble, or danger. Now, Howard, do we have any difficulties in the healthcare system?
Absolutely.
Have you heard or people express they are in trouble when it comes to the healthcare when they go to the Princess Margaret Hospital?
Yes, they have. For years, they actually have been doing that.
Okay. The lady was on the back of a truck dealing with a physical ailment. She was in danger of whatever was happening being intensified and worsened by the conditions of her transport. Is that not danger?
That is.
I stand flat-footed. The Bahamas is in a health crisis. I'm not even going to talk about crime, just health. We are in a health crisis. So I want to get back to the topic of mental health. So when you think of mental health crisis, again, it makes sense that we have a mental health crisis because the health crisis. So this is a systemic issue we have going on. And so, Howard, when you think of suicide and crisis and prevention, we have to first look at the risk factors. In order for us to probably, and I hate to be pathologizing, but to analyze and diagnose, we have to understand the risk factors. Because we have a healthcare crisis, that's a risk factor. You see the correlation. Now, I want to make sure, be clear.
This heavy
correlation does not equal.
There's a risk factor, and there is a correlation, whether formally or subtly, between suicide and the health crisis that we face in the country.
Yes, sir. It's one of the
That
risk factors
is
I want to
crazy.
propose.
I've never heard this before.
Oh.
There has always been, and like you said, you could be able to kind of dissect it accordingly. but there's always been a spiritual element placed on suicide. Whilst a lot of persons take on this kind of an idea to say that the race is not for the swift, is not for the strong, it's for those who endure to the end. Right? That's biblical, and this is a narrative that's applied in almost every sphere. That if you can't endure, if you can't take it on, this may not necessarily have been for you, and you kind of slide out and do your thing. But for the strong, for all of us who understand to endure, this is what they put on suicide. For the most part, this is what they've put on suicide. They've said that if you're in this kind of position and you decide to take your own life, you're part of the weak. But they've never said that there's a correlation between health crisis, crime crisis, or any other crisis that's happening relentlessly in our community. Talk to me about this.
Yeah. Going into all of that, but we can talk about it. When you think about the mental anguish people think about when they're sick and they say, "Oh, we got to take you to the hospital." Most people are there's this subtle anguish of, "Man, I really don't want to go to Princess Margaret Hospital."
No,
you and I know
big time. A lot of people say that.
Okay.
Even I can't. Well, Princess Margaret, don't fight me, but this is what people are saying in the community. They say, "No, boy, don't get me there. I may not make it out."
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are afraid of that, and that is a rich phobia in our community.
There you go.
Between Princess Margaret and Rand Memorial Hospital, there is a rich, thick, potent phobia that says, "I scared to go to the hospital." Especially
now
men.
We're talking.
Especially men. Men don't. I ain't getting no hospital. No. Just I can be all right, Beulah. No, but Charlie, your leg falling off. I can be all right, Beulah.
Right. So now we're dealing with the phobia of going.
I hope I lose you again. This is a WhatsApp call. I can try to call him on. I don't know whether or not he's here, but I can try to call him on a direct line. I don't know if it's his phone or my phone, but I can try to call him on a direct line, and see if I can be able to get him like that. But this should not be happening. This hasn't happened to us before. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. This has not happened to us before.
All right.
This has not happened to us before. This twice in one thing. Every time we start to get to a high point. Yeah, sorry about that.
Let me be like that a crew of people. They trying to hack our calls.
I like it. I appreciate it. Go ahead.
Yeah. So Howard, when you think about the reality of the phobia coupled with the physical ailment of the person, that we don't have that I don't have data on hand to tell you that impacts it, but there is something we call psychosomatic response, where the body responds based on what is happening emotionally. So now I'm already dealing with a phobia that I'm in this ambulance. Well, if you're lucky, or on the back of this truck, you about to take me from the back of this truck to a place where there's no guarantee I can come out the way I came in. Okay? Now, let me put a caveat in here. We have hard-working people that work in our healthcare system. They are professional. They are A1, A+. They do a great job. Psychiatrists that I know personally, psychologists that work in the hospital that I know personally, doctors, nurses, professional Bahamians, hardworking. So I don't want to put a hit on them, but I do think there is a systemic issue, and so I want to leave that, Howard, because that could be the whole show to talk through the idiosyncrasies of the system of healthcare and its impact on suicide, mental health in the Bahamas. Because, for example, Howard, let me switch gears a little bit. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, but go ahead right here.
Okay. Howard, what was the stigma you and I grew up with hearing, "Oh, she must have got a pink slip. She must have been up to the S place, the place that, I don't want to call the name of the place, out there in Fox Hill."
She had HIV or AIDS. Is that
Right.
what you're talking about?
Okay.
Okay, good.
Yes, that's
Okay.
one of what I'm saying because we stigmatize anything to do with health. But don't
Yeah,
let me you catch me coming out that place in Fox Hill, pulling out the yard. She must be going
you know
crazy.
what I
Why you
used
think
to
she going
do
out?
on a particular day? On a particular day, if you went on a, I think it was in 8 Mile Rock, I think it was a Wednesday. If you went to the clinic on a Wednesday morning, right? People
Mm-hmm.
always say, okay, they must see light up like a Christmas tree. People just say things like that, right? Oh, this one got the thing, they light right up, right? Or whatever. You got to watch yourself for this one, right? Because
Right.
it seems as though the community understood the rhythm of the type of healthcare that we got in the community. You understand? And I think that the exact same thing, because we're such a small space, existed here in Nassau. When you go to Fox Hill or when you go to any other space, people look at you, and because we're not educated about these things, automatically they think you did something. I think you'd always fall back to faith, and nobody will talk about this, but it's fall back to faith. What did you do wrong? What sin did you cause? What happened to you that caused you to fall into this particular thing? And it is always like that.
Right. And I
That's
think
heavy.
how what we have to what we have to accept is the reality of our humanness that anyone can be subject to health conditions,
Yep.
mental health, physical health,
Yep.
emotional health. And I think what happens is so for example, let me go back to suicide. What I said on another show was another risk factor. Suicide is criminalized in the Bahamas. And I was asked by the host, well, Dr. Stubbs, what that gonna do? That ain't gonna do nothing. I don't think that's gonna change. Has anyone been arrested? I said it doesn't matter. Because legally, if someone tries to engage in the process of unaliving themselves through the process of suicide, and they are not quote unquote uh, uh, and complete the suicide attempt or the suicide, they are liable to be jailed for up to 5 years. That's on the books. If a judge is feeling froggy in the Bahamas, they can put them in jail for 5 years.
Wow.
So that's a risk factor. Bahamians walk day in and day out, don't realize that is something that we deal with. Someone knowing that, they will be less apt to go into the system and talk to the system about what they're dealing with, what they're going through in their life,
Wow.
knowing that that's a part of what the consequence is. And so, again, we have to do the best we can to eliminate the risk factors. The health one, that's a job. And I think the governments believe that they can solve it with the how would I don't fight me. I can use your word. Don't fight me. I think they can fix it with a blueprint for change or a manifesto. The health crisis will not be changed by paper and pen.
What
It will
about
be changed.
what about by brick and mortar? This administration has taken on the course of
No,
being able to
no,
build a
sir.
new space.
Howard, let me
We're
see.
talking. Praise
You
God.
can
Let me
make me
hear.
get riled up.
No,
No, unfortunately, it will not. Let me
okay.
tell you why. Howard, do you know that the Bahamas is an underserved population when it comes to mental health? I think the last time
I
my
know.
numbers, and I may not be correct, just to stock mental health, I think it was like one psychologist per, I think maybe 4,000, because we are at 400,000 people. Licensed psychologists in the country, it's like one per 4,000. We are underserved. Let's go talk to the physical health process. Howard, you and I both know we don't have enough nurses. We don't have enough doctors. We don't have enough this. We don't have enough that. I just found out the other day, audiologists. You can count the audiologists in the Bahamas on one hand.
Wow.
So you could build brick and mortar. Who is going to be in it? Yes, you can build it. They'll come, but who's going to serve them?
And
You
there's
follow
no
what I'm saying?
and there's no specific emphasis or push by the government or any entity to say we'll give you these incentives if you decide to be able to be a nurse or a doctor or this or that.
Right. And even that in itself, that's a whole nother, you know, um, uh, effort that again you keep saying I'm trying to not use that G word at all because I believe that we don't need the government to lead the process on this. I believe that we can, as Bahamian people, we can maximize this process if we take on practical ways. Does that make sense? What I'm saying?
Talk to me about the practicality that needs to be taken on in the community. Talk to me about what language, because when you started to talk about health, mental health, right? And you start to be able to say that we haven't shifted from mental health. There has been a language shift, right? A sort of an acceptable thing when we listen to social media, when we align ourselves with the language that's coming out of the United States of America. We no longer call persons with mental ailments retarded. We call them mentally challenged. So that might have been the only incremental change that we've seen as it relates to mental health, right? But as it relates to the service and rendering assistance and being able to assist in those areas, have we changed significantly? Talk to me about that.
I don't think we've changed it, Howard. I think we have made efforts to adjust and prepare for it, if that makes sense.
Okay.
By this, the Mental Health Act that was passed was commendable. Okay, I was on the committee that worked on the Mental Health Act. We worked hard on that, and there's not just me, but there's people that worked even harder. The Mental Health Act has been one of the best things the Bahamas could have done, but it's almost like we put it on paper. That's why I say paper and pen, but we ain't put nothing behind it. If you bad, go pull up the government budget and look how much they allot for mental health.
I can look for that.
Yeah, you look for that, and then when you find it, tell me. Okay. Now, another thing this administration did good was the mental health unit. I applaud them for that. But again, look how strong it is. How serious we are about it. But again, I don't expect it to be strong because the mental health in the Bahamas, the health system in the Bahamas is in a crisis.
How many people in the Bahamas do you think, statistically, right off the top of your head, ballpark figure, how many persons in the Bahamas, based upon clinical diagnosis in terms of what it means to be mentally challenged, what percentage of us are mentally challenged in this country?
Howard, I can't let you do that to me today.
I just want to ask. I just try to be decent.
I defer my response for another day, but I will tell you, I told them on the other show.
You plead the fifth. Go ahead.
I plead the fifth.
Okay, go ahead.
But I'm working on a white paper called the Post-Colonial Psychosis of the Modern Bahamas.
What?
And then I'll come back and share that with you.
I like that. Post-colonial psychosis of the modern Bahamas. Neo-colonialism got to be in there. That got to be in there. We got to talk. I see this. I already didn't see the paper. I can feel it. Send the paper to me.
Yeah.
I want to read it when you finish.
Yeah. So I think so we talk about what to do. One of the things we do at BPS, we do what we call a gatekeeper training, where we train people in basically crisis and suicide. And I try not to just say suicide. I try to say crisis too, because suicide is not the only thing. All of it is crisis. So we do a training on that, a general one for the general public, so the public could know, because everybody is a gatekeeper. They don't realize it. Anybody could come to you and tell you they're going to jump off the bridge or they're going to do something. You have to know how to respond to them. You know?
Well, I can tell you, if it ain't somebody who love you in this society, they might tell you, well, go on then. I mean, what happened? Go on.
That's true.
You take it long,
That's
right?
true.
And even with your loved ones, it's very dismissive. So you're always talking foolishness, right? And don't know what real challenges and whispers that you're hearing even behind this. So I like this guy. You say, so gatekeeper training. Okay. What's the second thing?
So we do, gatekeeper training is one of the ones. One of the things that the mental health unit, Bahamas Psychological Association, does as well is Bahamas, we call it psychological first aid. So you think of CPR training, first aid training, it's the same thing, but it's mental psychological first aid. We're not trying to make you a practitioner. We're not trying to make you a psychologist, therapist. We're just trying to help you. How do you help someone keep them alive until the paramedics get there? And then the paramedics got to take them to the hospital, which there's that system again.
Is the majority of this
go to the hospital.
Is the majority of this language in terms of how we speak to this particular person on tone?
Well, I was going to end with that. Yes, not majority, it's a part of it.
Okay.
Not a majority, it's a part of it. But I'm going to end with that. I want to give practical tips. But no, it's training on warning signs. It's training on risk factors. It's training on how you can practically help someone. It's training on knowing what resources are available. You know, a lot of people don't know the Bahamas have a 24-hour crisis suicide line. Not a suicide, crisis line.
Really? Just
Yeah, see, I knew you
crisis.
said that.
Hold on. Crisis is very wide because, you know, when people can't find no lunch money or they can't find no grocery money, that's a crisis.
And again,
in many
you and I just
instances.
described it. Well, you know, like you say, if they don't know the line exists, they wouldn't call the line. But Howard, at this point, I'd rather them call that than me hearing news reports that children were eating up the garbage. You want to go there?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a crisis. And all of these are risk factors, Howard. These lead to certain things. When people feel hopeless, when they feel like they can't, you know, Howard, some people, they eat not the garbage, but there's a part of their brain that's still intact. They're doing that because they feel like that's their last resort. But a part of them is still intact because they can go and look for food. They still know that Maslow hierarchy of needs. They got to eat. So something's still functioning. But what we have to do is provide them an avenue to help them get to a place. So Howard, you and I think, no man, ain't no way someone's eating out the garbage. All these places are wrong. All these people they can go. They can
I've
find
seen
crap,
them.
but-
We had this guy, and he had to have mental challenges. Now I want to talk. All right, he lived in a manor in 8 Mile Rock, right, and everybody from 8 Mile Rock know him. His name is Bruce. Bruce passed away, right? But my grandfather used to cook food and give it to Bruce. Bruce always used to be around by our yard. It's just, you live in a family island, it's just how it happened. So nobody wants to see him hungry. Now he can't walk through Grammy front door, so he had to go around the back, right? But nonetheless, anytime we eaten food there for him or whoever needed food, every time we give Bruce food, I promise you, I'm not going to lie to you. Every time we give Bruce food or anyone give Bruce food, he take it and put it in the garbage and go back and eat it later. That blew our mind. We couldn't understand what was happening with this man. He never eat fresh food. So it had to be a mental challenge for him to be able to live in this particular capacity. That was a heavy thing.
But see, yeah, but you guys understood that and you did not give it to him. And so now this person you're talking about, did they ever get any treatment?
No. He had a routine, and he was also an addict, right? So he would provide us whatever his brain said he needed, and he used to sing "Allow him to pimp," right? And then we'd say switch, and he'd do something else. So it was performative for his objective, but when it comes to being able to reform, he didn't have a desire for that. Now I don't think he had family there to be able to support him and say, hey, listen, we want to be able to do this for you.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that again, to another part too. But I think that's a part. All those are risk factors. You know, that's another thing. Does the person want help? Here's another thing, Howard. You can't force people to want to be better. It's a choice. Now, the Mental Health Act has in there that, you know, any medical practitioner, be it psychologist, psychiatrist, doctor, can override that person's right if we can prove through assessment that they are not making mental judgment that's appropriate. We can take that away from them to get them treatment. That still doesn't fix the problem, because you take them, you help them out, they're gonna be right back on the street if that's what they want to be and want to do.
Yeah.
So, you know, all these are risk factors. Let me go back to what we talk about, the health system. So when you think about mental health, when you think about suicide and crisis situation, Howard, think about when you go to the hospital and you check in. What's the thing most people dread when they go there just after you check in? What are you doing that whole time?
I don't know. I mean, I think people are threatened. They're afraid.
Yeah, but
Go ahead.
They're afraid. But the weight.
Yeah. You sit there for at least 2 hours.
The weight, Howard.
You sit there for at least 2 hours.
You see what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna lie. Let me tell you something. My son had a little asthma, right? And I tell this story a couple of times. And we see him wheezing, must be about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. We had to assess whether or not he is that bad because we wanted to take him to a private doctor before we take him to Princess Margaret. And we decided to take him to Princess Margaret. We still had to wait an extended period of time. That just is, the wait is always kind of a, oh my God, I have to wait for 3 hours. Wow.
Right. And the common phrase in the Bahamas is you go to Princess, you get dead.
That's what people tell you.
I telling you, so you can imagine someone with a mental challenge trying to go there because that's how they process them. They have to, if they get picked up, they go there. They don't take them, as far as I know, to Sandlands right away. That processing is in itself could be damaging for the person.
Wow.
So keep that as in the back of your mind as another risk factor. So let me wrap up the risk factor component with this. Another risk factor, Howard, is the component of the lack of hope right now that's prevalent in the country. There's not a lot of hope. There's not a lot of hope. People aren't hopeful. That's politically, that's spiritually, that's emotionally, mentally. People are not hopeful. And
why don't
when you think of
why don't you invert this list and start off with a lack of hope? I feel like that's like a major thing. That's major in this country.
It is. I said it is. And you know, a part of that, I don't want to cast blame, but a part of that has to do with we don't have people who know how to be purveyors of hope.
Wow.
All they know how to do is put out fires and patch things up.
Yeah, because hope is a proactive thing. It has to go ahead of you. And we operate in reactivity. We're reactive as a people. So all you could do, like you said, is put out fires. And hope to God that the fire only big enough for me to put my foot on. Because if I can need a bucket of water or a fire truck, you can forget about it.
Hey, Howard, you don't have to use that as an example. You know that's happening.
I know.
No fire truck.
I know. That's what I say to you. You better hope to God that we could do whatever we could do with this little that we have right here. You better hope to God that the reactive nature of being able to put out fires, that this fire is small enough for me to take off my jacket at least and kind of douse it out. Or get a bucket of water and douse it out. If it's bigger than that, you could forget about it.
Now, to get the bucket, now you have to remember you have to have running water. And if you ain't got running water, you have to have a hose. And if you ain't got the hose, you might have a well. How you can get the water out? Anyway, that's a whole other story.
It's a whole other story.
Now, think about this. The Bahamas is in a place right now where people feel like they have to just survive. Okay? And when people feel like they have to just survive, there's no room for hope. Because hope feels out of touch. It feels I can't touch hope. I can't access that. I just barely surviving right now. So even if you get
that's crazy, eh? People don't even want to have a conversation about optimism. But look here, when I get some money, I can do. Listen, man, you don't hear that right now. You don't hear that. What we can do today? I need something to eat today.
Right. Now. No, you're talking about the day now.
My God.
Because the light off, I was just telling my mom, I have a client who told me he live in a house with 6 people and they have no light. And he
6 people?
Bill was 6 people.
They're little children, eh?
No light.
They must see little children.
No, these adults.
And nobody got job. Nobody can squeeze together and cut the light.
No. Couple of them got jobs. Some ain't got no job. And he said to me, they ain't got no light. He said, Dr. Stubb, you know what I do? I only go home, take a cold shower, and go to bed and get up and get out the house again. That's what he told me. He said, because we ain't got no light, and what I hanging out in there for? He earned his $260 a week. And he told me that money to take care of the 2 children because the baby mama threatening him. So Howard, I could go for another hour and tell you stories of like that, where the system has not been conducive to producing hope. Okay? Now, am I saying that you want me to go a little deeper?
Go ahead.
The church can't produce hope because the church don't have hope. You go look in half of them, they empty. Because you know what their hope is? The money coming into play. Uh-oh. You could end the show now if you want to. You could tell me get off your show.
I can hear you. And I tried not to do this little facial expression, but my God, it's heavy. So the production of hope is the issue. And we're not producing hope from a governmental standpoint. We're not producing hope from a community standpoint. And we're not producing hope from a religious or faith-based standpoint, which is in church.
Us as Afro-Caribs, what is center to our faith, center to our life, I said already, center to our existence, our wholeness is our faith. When that doesn't offer what we need, we in trouble. And that's why I tell you, we don't only have a health crisis, we have a systemic crisis. So our ain't gonna be enough, but I do want to give you. Well, we got time, right? You want me to keep going?
Yeah. We got time, man. Go ahead.
Okay. So let's talk now about the issue of what gets a person to the point of contemplating ending their life. Contemplating as today's World Suicide Prevention Day. What we just spent moments talking about was hope. I think hope is vital to avoiding the thought of ending their life, unaliving themselves. The other thing is, Howard, for us to not ignore is the reality of community and contextualization in community. For example, if you and I just talked about what happening in a house, 6 people in it. Now, Howard, they all family, right? And he can't find hope in his family for power. Where you think he can find it?
I don't know where he can go. If he can't go to your family, who you can come to?
Oh, okay. And so now you have this other thing going on where people are trying to find community in everything else other than where they should find it. And that's part for stress and trauma to cause someone to feel like this ain't worth it. Because if my own family forsaken me, if my own system I'm in is not providing the safety net for me, there's nowhere safe.
Is there a correlation between this lack of hope, the community contextualization that we're talking about, where there is no connection? And before we get to the suicide element, because I feel like that's sort of the last resort, where persons are fine and say, okay, well, I've tried this, I've tried that, it hasn't worked, right? So I feel like suicide is at the back of this particular thing. This is the proverbial tip of the pyramid. If we're talking Maslow hierarchy of needs, you would have gone through every step that you could have gone through. And some of this is if I can't find the means of being able to get support from my family, then I will sell myself, right? A lot of persons get into prostitution. A lot of persons get into being able to work in these particular rings just to survive. Is that a correlation in that? Do you see anything in those things?
Absolutely. And so usually those people are more high risk people, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And even that data, that information is being challenged because, Howard, during the pandemic, we saw a lot of doctors. We saw a lot of pastors unalive themselves. So that kind of shattered some of the thoughts on who attempts to unalive themselves.
Do we go back? Because listen, you know I like to talk, so you're taking me all kind of places with this conversation, and I like it. Do we go back to the necessity for us to be able to have divine connection as Afro-Caribbeans, as those persons who find meaning in relationship with divinity? Do we go back to that and saying, as a result of this departure from our faith, there is a desire to be able to fill it with everything else, and when you can't fill that, then this kind of this talk about ending your life is something that comes to the forefront.
Absolutely, because it's almost when you talk when you look at the research and people who have studied the brain of people who either committed or sorry, we don't use that language, engaged in suicide, or people who were not who it did not go through. They made the attempt, but they didn't go through. It didn't basically unalive them. When they are interviewed post, it usually the line that they draw
From
is,
their
"I
failed
lost it."
attempt. From their failed attempt.
Yes.
They try and they failed. Isn't that like, I'd like to know, you tell me, that must be, if you've reached this point of no hope, if you've reached this point of distance from community, if you've reached the fact that persons don't assist you from a community standpoint, a family standpoint, if this void continues to be able to this gaping hole that exists within you and it can't be filled, and the only thing that you think you have is suicide, and you try that and it fails, how does it work now? What is the mindset of someone who felt like a failure before to fail at something that presumably is so easy? Talk to me about it.
And that's what I was getting at. That's where we have found in the data and the research that it's a hope thing. And so someone who, one of the reasons why we try not to use the language of they failed at suicide is we don't want to make suicide to be like it's something you need to succeed at.
Okay.
I'll talk
I
about
accept
that before we. Yeah, we'll conclude with the language of hope. Okay, so I'll end with, here's what we say, here's what we don't say, as tips for your listeners to know something practical. And so, when someone is not, it's not, they're not unalived by the attempt, we try to process with them where it is, and what we find from people is hope. It's a hope thing. You're right. A part of it is, man, I failed even at this. But for them, I lost all hope. I have no more hope. There's not an ounce of hope left. So why am I still here? I have nothing to hold on to. I have nothing to hope for, look forward to. And Howard, believe this if you want to or not. We are at a crossroads in the Bahamas where we have people that are at that point. They've just not arrived at the place of attempting to unalive themselves. You ready for this? You're ready for what I'm about to tell you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Excuse me. We have people who have already been unalived walking around our streets day in and day out. They are walking zombies. They have committed suicide emotionally.
I know this
relationally.
This is the next part I want to know. This is the next part I want to talk to you about. And this is an extremely interesting conversation, by the way. Just to let you know this. I'm enjoying this, guys. I'm hoping that you're enjoying this. Send me some text. Now, there must be a path to unaliving yourself. There must be a path to the ultimate demise, okay? Some persons take on this journey of making it quick with the traditional methods that we hear about, whether that is a rope or jumping or this or that, which is sort of an expedient, right? They want instant gratification. They want to do this now, and this is the expedience that they choose. But there are some persons who have decided that they don't have any hope, and they decide to inebriate themselves with some substance, and they ingest this substance to the point to eventually find themselves unable to perform, unable to produce, unable to think, and they're no longer themselves, and they become someone else. Is there like a fast suicide and a slower one? Talk to me about it.
Well, Howard, I want to be careful. I don't want to sensationalize the act.
Right.
And so I will say this. We believe that the act of suicide in whatever form someone takes is a hopeless thing. Whether it's fast, whether it's slow, it's hopeless.
I ask you that because of whether it's alcoholism or substance abuse or taking these particular things. I think that is as a result of a great deal of hopelessness. And I just want to know whether or not you identify this as a cause to this event.
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Absolutely. From that perspective, yes. Because what we do in Afro-Carib context, one of the co-occurring diagnoses we find with people who have either had suicide ideation or engaged in the process of suicide is addiction, mainly alcohol and drug use. Okay? Because at some point those don't numb the pain enough. It's like the person saying, I want some Oxycontin, but you ain't giving me enough, doc. Can you up the doc? Doc said, no, you can't take no more than this. And because they want more to numb the pain more. The pain, and for some people, the pain doesn't get exaggerated, It exaggerates in their mind, and they feel like the pill can help subside it more. So that subsided it. Man, I was feeling a 10. I take that, I feel like a 4. If I get more, I give me that 1.
Wow.
You follow?
Wow. And so they roll the dice with fentanyl. This is crazy stuff.
Yeah.
This is crazy stuff.
So Howard, let me throw in here the contextual, and I want to shift to solutions. How can we help? How can we make things better? Think through the process of a time where you yourself, Howard, or any of your listeners, you've been down to the point where you feel like, man, there's no way out of this. I can't. That feeling, nobody wants to naturally live in that space. Nobody. And so we always tell people when there's a crisis or suicide situation, if someone is telling you something, they're reaching out. That's them saying, guys, I really don't want to be like this, but I think this is where I need to cross the line and be done with this because things ain't working out. And so, Howard, for a lot of us, like you say, we downplay it, and I told you I was going to come back to this. We trivialize it. We make it entertainment. There is a particular person, I'm not going to call their name. You're not from Nassau officially, but you've been there long enough. I'm sure you've seen this person on social media. He is known on the streets of New Providence, very entertaining, very flamboyant, and whether you've engaged in it or not, if I mash them toe, it's okay. I get frustrated when I see him being used as entertainment.
I already know who you're talking about. Everybody know who you're talking about. Everybody know who you're talking about right off the top.
Nobody's name.
Everybody know who you're talking about.
You can call his name. This your show, you can call his name.
Jeremy.
I don't know nobody's name.
Jeremy.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
I get frustrated when I see him being used as entertainment.
Yeah.
Because for us, that's how we've numbed the reality of the people like him on our streets.
Wow.
That is our post-colonial psychosis. When we see ourselves on the streets, it's a joke. Let's make entertainment out of it. We can't do nothing else. Let's just use it for entertainment. When we were used as entertainment, we were the entertainment by the other people. You.
I like this. This your paper? This your paper? Hold on now. Look at it. Don't go nowhere. Doc, you muted yourself. Look at this here. Come back, Doc. You got yourself on mute. Oh, Lord, Doc, I can't hear what you're saying. Okay, good now. You got yourself on mute. Oh, Lord, you're gone.
Hey, Howard, I lost you for a minute.
No. You had yourself on mute. Go ahead.
No, I said it was saying it was reconnecting. So I was like, let me wait to see if it's gonna connect.
Let me ask you now.
Um,
Are you saying, is this
okay.
your paper that I'm hearing? This post-colonial psychosis. This idea that we were the entertainment. This idea that we have shifted the playing field. And this is why I said that neocolonialism, which is the new colonialism, carries on the tradition. They haven't made modifications significantly. Our leadership from the inception to be able to deal with these things. I often talk about that our forefathers were responsible for the tangibles. They built the infrastructure, the houses, the schools, the this, the that, and all these things, but left us in a position where we did not have ourselves prepared from a mental standpoint. We weren't prepared to be able to deal with some of the responsibilities of being able to run a country the way that we have to. Talk to me about that.
That's exactly what I'm talking. So for example, I heard you mention today on another show the newspapers that we have. Finish what I'm saying, Harvard. I forgot what you said.
No, the newspapers that we have are colonial newspapers. They didn't belong to us. They never carried the
Right.
real spirit of who we are as a people. And so the Realigner, which is my paper, and the Bahama Journal actually does a lot of this also, carries the true essence of who we are in our tradition, in our culture, and we want to be able to put that on display.
Right. And so now, what the psychosis is, we have been so colonialized that when you start your paper, the new paper comes out, we demonize that because it doesn't have it ain't been around a long time. It's only come lately.
Yeah.
And so we can't read or take what the new Bahamas has to say because we don't feel like it has tenure. We don't feel like it has. And so they've taught us, if it don't have tenure, if it don't come from me, if it don't come from us, massa, you don't believe anything.
If it ain't white, it ain't right.
You said, but man, Howard,
I don't know. This
I
the international. You think this Urkel on this here? Okay.
Oh yeah, okay, but that's how I say.
Yeah,
that's
this
how
the
I
truth.
keep thinking.
This the truth.
Yeah.
This the truth.
Yeah.
If it ain't white, it ain't right, and that's the mindset. And this has nothing to do with my good friends who are of the Caucasian nature and my Conky friends. This ain't got nothing to do with you. This is not amplifying you. This is a mindset that exists with us for far too long. That we've continued to be able to find ourselves genuflecting, bowing, yielding ourselves, our talents and everything to a master other than ourselves, other than who we are, the master and the purpose that has been called within us. We suppress that to be able to amplify your desires, your concepts, we got to fix that. We got to fix that in this country so we can get some fighting, but we can fix that.
You want me open a can of worms?
Go ahead. Let me hear the worms now.
Why is it in 2025, I've been watching 3 countries' elections, and one of the things the leaders, Negroes, I want to say another word, are telling the masses, we're going to pave your roads. We're going to bring water to you. And I sitting there shaking my head going, hold on. I remember as a little boy, and Ingram was talking about this. 2025?
And before
talking about this?
Before Ingram talked about it, the most impact it had is when Lyndon Pinlin talked about it. All Ingram, Lyndon Pinlin, for the most part, both Ingram and Perry Gladstone Christie perpetuated the exact same thing that they saw with Lyndon Pinlin, our first prime minister and premier. Okay,
who you think he learned it from?
He learned it from Massa.
Oh, okay. And so now we have a culture and a context where we are psychotic to the point. See, I have some colleagues, they don't like that. They don't even like my. I had a colleague tell me, I don't agree with your topic. I don't believe that. I don't like that title. What are you trying to say about the Bahamas? Listen to me, Howard. How is it that our people are still not empowered in 2026 when it's still a bucket of names you can call? And you call their name, you check the bank account, it all lines up. Okay?
And this ain't no big
You check
bucket,
the
you know.
businesses.
This ain't no
No,
big
this ain't
bucket.
what?
This them little small bucket, but the chitlin is coming. This ain't no big bucket. Okay, good. Go
I
ahead.
telling you. And so go back now to colonial time. What did they do to the people? Why they had the Burma Road riot?
You mean because of suppression?
What they used to do with the bank? What they used to do with the bank? What time did
Segregation.
I'm gonna say a word? Okay.
Segregation.
Are we not
and
being
suppression.
segregated economically?
We are, but I don't think a lot of persons view it in that particular manner. I think because the language out of the government is paired with economic depression, and there is always deflection where persons say, yeah, we having this issue, but look around the world. They having issues also. Look at Gaza, right? What the hell are you talking about? Look at Israel. Look at Venezuela. Look, and they always identify struggle from an external standpoint to be able to almost justify what's happening internally.
You know, Howard, I saw a new report came out the other day that the Bahamas is listed as the third richest country in the Western Hemisphere.
Mm-hmm.
Third.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And you drive through our streets,
You can't see that.
you
though.
talk to our people, you can't see it. Man, it's unreal. Howard, I am sitting on my computer, on my phone, and get a message of a woman on the back of a truck
Yeah.
being transported
Yeah.
in 2025,
Yeah.
2024, 2023. I don't care whose government. What I'm saying is we have gone mad. And we
Wow.
cannot blame Massa
I like this.
because now we are in charge. So there is a psychosis, not a diagnosis. There's a psychosis that needs to be assessed from the country for us to move forward. I don't care about no blueprint. I don't care about no manifesto until we understand our processing, our thinking, how we engage government. Here's another thing, Howard, and then I'll go to my closing remarks about what we can do. I know your show is almost over.
Yeah.
Look at what's happening around the region in voter turnout. The people are telling you they have fatigue. They are tired.
Less
they
than
are fatigued
40%
of the promises.
Less than 40% in Jamaica.
Okay. That's unheard of in Jamaica. The pandemic, you get a pass. You got almost 3 million people and only 39%, only less than 1 million help determine who leads the country.
Yeah.
The people are telling you more than they're saying. Same thing in our country last election. And I honestly, Howard, I don't care. I don't mind the hype and the holler and all this, you know. I believe it's going to be the same thing in the Bahamas. People are tired. They feel like they feel like, and what's happening is people are so hopeless. Let me go back to that. They don't have hope anymore. And what's happening, Howard, is people don't want to feel like they're wasting time or what their efforts are for is not being maximized.
Well,
do I have time to share suicide language?
well, if you could wrap it up in 2 minutes, we could do that because it's 2:00 now. We got to be able to shut it down.
Okay. Well, let me just say this. I'll say
Now
this.
you're always invited back because this was a healthy conversation, and especially if you're in whenever you're here, I'd love you to come and sit with me and talk about these things. So don't believe that we just confine the conversation to a particular day that we're looking at suicide prevention. We still could do this, and we could be able to make a series out of it. I love that.
Okay. Let me share 2 or 3 then. So, for example, instead of saying successful suicide attempt, say a fatal suicide attempt. Okay. Instead of saying suicide victim, we say those who die by suicide. Instead of saying someone committed suicide or commit suicide, we say they died by suicide or they unalived themselves or they took their own life or a suicide death. Why? We believe that the language can be problematic when we discuss suicide and shifting even the language. And people don't realize this. They say, well, what that gonna do? It has a subconscious impact on people and how they think about thing. So, Howard, I really appreciate you taking time to allow us to share today. I know we ran a lot of places, but it all is
I
interrelated.
enjoyed this, and I want your paper. I want the same, what you call it, post-colonial psychosis. I want to
Of the modern Bahamas.
Of the modern Bahamas. I'd like to do that. And why don't you give me an opportunity to put it in my paper? Yeah, give me.
I'm working.
Give me a version.
Mm-hmm.
When you then finish, give me a version so I can put it in the paper. We send this all over the country, and I'd like people to kind of read it, ingest it, and we could be able to talk about it.
Yes, sir.
I like that. Dr. Stubbs, I want to thank you so very kindly for being able to be with us. Listen, don't be a stranger. We had a healthy conversation today about suicide prevention, about being able to curb our language, about, I don't know whether or not, I guess next time we could talk about affirmations and what we could be able to say for that training that you said that persons can go on and being able to do that. How do we shift that? How do we as a community identify these particular signs? How do we help persons to be able to get out of this? I think a lot of what we've done today is being able to identify the fact that this is systemic. This is something that has been birthed in us. This is a conditioning that we have as a society. And the way that we break this is being conscious, is being deliberate, and is actually being able to reaffirm ourselves as a community and getting back to the Afrocentricity of our faith. I like this conversation today. This was a good one. Talk to me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We appreciate it. And I agree. I think future dialogue about the mental state of our country needs to be discussed more rather than highlighting snippets to distract of what's happening nationally.
I agree with you. Ladies and gentlemen, that is none other than Dr. Jason Stubbs. Doctor, if persons want to be able to get in contact with you, if they're having thoughts, if they're having issues, if they're finding themselves in this kind of position where they don't have no one to talk to and they're teetering on the edge of hopelessness, how can they reach out to you or your affiliates?
Well, we encourage people to reach out to the Bahamas Psychological Association, and our contact toll free is 816-3799, 812-0576, 815-5850. And just so you know, we have a child adolescent parent support line, we have a Creole line, we have a male adult line. And again, you get in touch with any of those lines, and you can request that or you can talk with someone. Again, Bahamas Psychological Association main line is 816-3799, 812-0576, 815-5850.
Thank you so much, Doc. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the show today. I want to be able to thank Dr. Stubbs for being able to be here with us. It was an amazing conversation. It took us a little taste over our time, but, you know, we could do that sometimes. Praise God. We started a little late also, so here's the full time and the full weight of being able to do this. This was a healthy conversation. I was interested to know whether or not there was a level of faith that's going to be in that, and he continued to be able to talk about that and being able to realign ourselves to get to the objectives that we've been called to in this life. So I want to thank you so much again, Dr. Stubbs, Dr. Jason Stubbs. He gave us all the numbers, 816-3799, 815-5850, 812-0576. If you're having these issues, man, don't think yourself separate and apart. Don't think yourself as the only persons who are going through this. You can be able to find community and find yourself off that ledge to be able to get back to the purpose that you've been called to. Well, thank you so very kindly for tuning in with us today. We're going to see you again next time right here on The Foundation.
I have a dream where the powerful and the powerless will sit at the same table, where the haves will see the have-nots, not as burdens, but as brothers, where class will not divide us, but conviction will unite us. I have a dream that the oligarchs will remember we must all eat, that the brown-faced neo-colonialists will remember who they are and whose they are. I have a dream that fraternities will build beyond internal architecture into a national bond, that the walls of design will give way to the bridges of brotherhood, not a fraternity of symbol, but a brotherhood of substance. I have a dream that we remain focused, that we stay in our conviction and remain fearless, that we double down, fortified, to return this Bahama land to the foundation.